Get full of rum. Or maybe I hope it in a bum. You will get a real ginger beer. Don't forget the black pudding up there. Boy, yo, say Santa, are you coming? Santa, are you coming? Santa, are you coming? Boy, yo, Santa, are you coming? You will get a basket full of rum. Or maybe I hope it in a bum. You will get a real ginger. Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh. Oh. If I only had one wish, I know it will be just this. I would wish you next to me, lying under the Christmas tree, and we would stay forever. It's the season to give love. You're the one I'm thinking of. To give our love, my love to, baby, there's no one but you, and we gotta keep it together, 'cause we've been making love like, yeah, we've been making love like, and we've been making love like, yeah, we've been making love like. Oh, Santa Claus don't come today. I know it'll be okay, 'cause I got no chimney anyway, and all I want is my Christmas memory of you and me in harmony. Oh, we ain't got no sleigh bells ringing, and ain't nobody interrupting. No, disturbing time, 'cause tonight I'm gonna make you mine. I gotta be with you for all time, 'cause we've been making love like, making love like, gonna live this Christmas life, and we've been making love like, it's a Christmas memory of you and me. It's a Christmas memory of you and me. 'Cause we've been making love like, making love like, every day and every night. We've been making love like, making love every time all with me. Oh, you make me feel so sweet. Yeah, we were making love like Christmas memory. Every single time we meet, we were making love. Oh, we were making love like, ooh, yeah. spirit of Christmas. The world is changing every day, and things are not the way they used to be. And if man is going his own way, he has no time to take a look and see. But now it is Christmas, let's do better than that. And in the spirit of Christmas, it's time to make a start. So raise up a song and let your voice be heard. Raise up a song, shout out the every word. Lift up your heart, sing praises to the Lord, and make this Christmas special time for love. Look right before your very eyes. The changes that we see are frightening. It is strange, but it is no surprise. Love can't exist and it's so saddening. But maybe this Christmas will do better than that. And in the spirit of Christmas, it's time to make a start. So raise up a song and let your voice be heard. Raise up a song, shout out, shout it out, sing the word, and sing praises, praises, and make this Christmas a special time for love.
Dominica, good afternoon to you and welcome. Welcome to the Talk on the Block. If it's on the block, we will talk about it. We're going to take a break and we'll come right back, Dominica. Right back.
Star Trading Limited Christmas giveaway is on. Spend $75 or more, get a chance to win one of 4 fantastic prizes. First prize, a 4-burner gas stove. Second prize, a toaster oven. The third prize, a Ronix cordless screwdriver drill set. And the fourth prize, 10 shoppers will win vouchers valued at $100 each. Purchase items valued between $150 and $199 and get an immediate 5% off. Purchase items valued at $200 or more and get an immediate 10% discount. For purchases of $100 plus, get a large shopping bag free. For purchases of $75 plus, get a small shopping bag free. Loyalty card holders will receive double points when they shop between December 9th to December 6th. Easter Trading Limited. We are here for you. And the management and staff of Easter Trading Limited extends a happy 2025 to all customers.
Exciting news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply. New York City and the Tri-State, let's get some power.
It's a party! It's a party!
Follow to Bone in collaboration with Creole Cultural Ambassador Prince Wadix present Winter Wonderland, the Red Edition, Saturday, December 21st from 8 p.m. 112-50 Springfield Boulevard, Queens Village, New York City. Featuring DJ Sniper, DJ Reckless, and the legendary Prince Wadix from Wadi Calling Pen. Advance tickets $50, $60 at the door. Supported by Q95 FM, the big station. La famille Créole, tout Dominique États-Unis, New York City, pour attention. Kamene, Shannon, Dominique Johnson. Samedi, décembre 21. Weber Kozot, Fini pour Piazon. Bon, musique et descente.
All right, Dominica, we're going to be starting off here this afternoon. We're going to have a very interesting program. A lot of the players we will speak to as it relates to the bills before Parliament. But let's listen. I will talk to them a little later. Let's listen to the statement from the ERC that was aired for the first time this morning. Good afternoon, Dominica, again. Let's pay attention.
In a press release written by the Electoral Reform Coalition, signed by the chairman Johnson Boston, dated December 12, 2024, reads, the Electoral Reform Coalition, ERC, is disappointed that after almost 2 decades of demanding electoral reform in the Commonwealth of Dominica, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is proceeding to take to Parliament the electoral reform bills on Monday, 16th December 2024, without proper public notice and scrutiny. In addition, the recommendations of the Electoral Commission were not made public to allow the nation to know whether or not the demands of the people are met. The ERC therefore demands the following. 1. That the Electoral Commission makes its recommendations to government public immediately. 2. The government of Dominica makes the legislation that is being presented to Parliament more accessible to the general public. Considering the above, the ERC encourages constituents to persuade their parliamentary representatives to support the electoral reform process for free and fair elections. The ERC invites the public to a virtual rally on Saturday, 14th December at 7 p.m. to discuss the volatile situation. The ERC strongly urges citizens to make their presence felt outside of Parliament on Monday, December 16th, 2024 to register their concern for genuine electoral reform, which will provide for free and fair elections. The public sector, the private sector, the civil society organizations, citizens at home and abroad are encouraged to display their support for the cause of electoral reform. The ERC is therefore appealing to all to raise their voices in this 11th hour to demand that the government allows, open quote, we the people, end quote, of the Commonwealth of Dominica, our right to genuine electoral reform, which should lead to free and fair elections. This statement from the ERC again is signed by the chairman of the ERC, Johnson Boston.
It's 1:20 in the afternoon. Of course, the bills before Parliament. A new controversy has emerged, though. And of course, it is that some are claiming that the opposition parliamentarians may have received the bill 2 days ago or 3 days ago, so they had no time to review. Hence, the public have not been informed of the contents of the very bill on the electoral reform. There has been widespread condemnation. Well, I made a few phone calls this morning to find out when were these bills released? When was the first time these bills were released? I spoke to two parliamentarians, two opposition parliamentarians. As I said, I spoke to two opposition parliamentarians because I got information from my research that the very bills presented a few days ago may have been received by parliamentarians, opposition parliamentarians, yes, I was making the point that I received information. I was doing some research and I found out that the very bills presented just 2 days ago to opposition parliamentarians may have been in their hands earlier. One parliamentarian was willing to speak to me on the issue. Is the PAL rep of the Marigot constituency, Mr. Anthony Charles. So I'm going to ask him a direct question. I expect a direct answer. Mr. Anthony Charles, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good. It seems that, there's a lot of talk as it relates to these electoral bills now before Parliament. I want to ask you a direct question, sir, because there's some confusion there. When did you, as an opposition parliamentarian, receive the bills, the electoral bills, now before Parliament, to go before Parliament Monday?
We received these bills on the 14th of November. And the notification says, please find attached draft bills shortly entitled Registration of Electoral Act 2024 or for the Assembly Election Act 2024 and Electoral Commission Act 2024 for your review in preparation for the next sitting of Parliament. So we actually received those bills on the 14th, and a few days ago, which is like 2 days ago, we received all those bills along with other bills.
So the same bills were sent to you 2 days ago?
The very same bills. Since on the 14th of September.
The question is...
Of November.
On November, sorry. So the question is, and everybody's asking, why did you, as the opposition parliamentarians, not make it public or try to educate the public on the bills before us this time?
Well, I did educate the public which are associated with me immediately, like, for example, my lawyer, Joshua Francis. He was aware of it. A few of my supporters was aware of it. And based on the whole supposed election talk and nomination and what Labour Party had their delegates and what was going to have their delegates, so a lot of people didn't pay attention, including yours truly, Anthony Charles. I disregarded. I personally, not going to lie, I had the bills, I brushed through it. That is why I know immediately as I got the bills 2 days ago, I knew it was the same bill.
So you of course informed the persons around you, but not the general public.
Not the general public. I mean, I cannot just saying I get the bills, but I know my dad, for one, who actually started this whole talk with electoral reform as an ex-commissioner. He's one of those that made the senior counsel write a letter, Richard Charles. So when I got this bill, he have a copy. We were going through it long before we know we were going to Parliament, because I told him if he who started it, look a copy and go over what you started so I can help fix it. Because this noise has been going around for 2 decades. We need to get this thing sorted, because it looks like it's going to come true. And after, when I saw the notification came a few days ago, I told you, see, I told you they're going to call Parliament for that. So we already go through it and we were trying to, come up with solutions. So we were already aware that it was coming back. So we got those bills on the 14th of November.
You got the bills on the 14th of November. So the debate going forward that, you had not received those bills may be false.
Well, I signed for those bills. So, and other parliamentarian opposition did sign for the bills. I don't know if they did not receive it, but I received my copy.
You received your copy. So how are things on the ground for you there in Marigot?
Things are going to be on the ground, because I'm not the person that is always on the air. I'm on the ground with the people, for the people, by the people, with the people. I don't really have this knack of going on air. Imagine why it doesn't be on air. This happening, I'm not on the air. But I always on the ground with people. I hear their concerns, their needs, their wants. I try to help them. If I can't, I direct to where they can get the help. So I was on the ground with the people. Always on the ground.
But tell me, you said you had a chance to review those bills. Any concerns at this time? And did you share with your colleagues your concern?
Yes, the concern, as I said, earlier on in this electoral, we saw have the government had those group of sessions going around the island. The only concern, Matt, You can never have a level playing field if you don't know when the game is going to be played. My only concern, we need a set date. All this electoral reform, financing, all the only bill thing I see in the bill, the electoral commission is getting stronger. That's the only thing I can see coming from that bill is getting stronger. The electoral commission, but the whole law is still basically the same. We do not have a set date. We do not have finance reform we do not have anything. The only thing I can see coming from that bill, the electoral commission is coming stronger.
That's the only thing you see that's relevant in that bill.
In that date. We do not have a set date, so nobody don't know what date they're working toward to our next generation. Everybody gets in. Opposition gets in, even the members in government gets in, and it's only a few persons that know when the election is going to call. Opposition saying call it. The prime minister is saying they're afraid. And it's like everybody have watching the whole public, which is us who is the government, watching us like jokes. Like I feel it to call it, or call it now. This is like a game that you're playing games with children, which I don't appreciate those kind of things. But when is the election? When we should have a set date, Matt. And that will level all playing field, and then we can take it from there. Once we do not have a set date, nothing is going to be leveled.
All right. So again, 1:29 is the afternoon time. I just wanted to confirm that. So you opposition parliamentarians received that bill very early, and no other opposition parliamentarian, from what I'm hearing, have shared this information with their constituents. So I'm very happy that you could come out here this afternoon and tell us that the bill you had some time to, but it was unfortunate though that you did not choose to share it with the other constituencies in your constituents in your constituency. But again, I want to thank you, sir, for talking to us this afternoon. We'll be talking to you sometime in the near future. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you. Our next up, Mr. Wayne James, Commissioner Wayne James. Stick around.
New York City and the Tri-State against the power.
There's a party. He's a party.
Borrow to Bow in collaboration with Creole Cultural Ambassador Prince Wadix present Winter Wonderland. The Red Edition, Saturday, December 21st from 8 p.m. 112-50 Springfield Boulevard, Queens Village, New York City. Featuring DJ Sniper, DJ Reckless, and the legendary Prince Wadix from Waddy Calling Pen. Advance tickets $50, $60 at the door. Supported by Q95 FM, the big station. La Famille Koyon, tout Dominique États-Unis, New York City, pour attention. Nous camene, Shannon Dominique Johnson. Samedi, décembre 21. Wepa Kozot, Fini Pompi Azot. Bon, musique et descend. Sakaiba.
From my knowledge, these bills are very long, huh? And has to be perused with a fine tooth comb. One has about 213 pages, the other 113. It's a very, very big document. My knowledge said that, these bills were received somewhere on the 14th of November. And it was the very, very same weekend that the delegates conference took place there for the Labour Party. So, if you will, that was a very smart move. Persons were paying attention purely to the delegates conference and not paying attention to what is before them or what was before them. So they received it on the 14th, and again, it was sent again 2 days ago. But let's see if we can talk to Mr. Wayne James, also being accused of getting those bills. But based on my information and based on what I'm getting there from other commissioners, they were not aware of the bills now before Parliament. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Wayne James. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, Matt Peltier. Thank you very much for the opportunity once again to try to educate and assist in the discuss that is going on at this time. I want to say good afternoon to my Dominican brothers and friends here and overseas. Yes, ma'am.
I'm here. Yes, sir. A lot of talk for the past few days, Mr. James. People are claiming that you actually knew what was in the bill. When the last time you spoke to me, you said that the commission make recommendations and you were not a privy of what is the bills or what the bills are before Parliament. Can you clarify, sir?
Matt Peltier, once again, I want to take my time this afternoon again to try to help the listening public understand exactly what we have before us. As I indicated, the Constitution of Dominica is very clear in relation to bills dealing with the representation of senators and members of parliament seeking to be elected. And those bills, before they're introduced to the House of Assembly, the Constitution said that it shall be sent to the Electoral Commission, of which Mr. Shillingford and myself, we are part of that commission. The bill should be sent to us, so giving us sufficient time where we could look at the bill, make our comments, and then send our comments, recommendations to the powers that be. I said the last time that I spoke that as far as that is concerned, we have done that. The government sent it to us, and after about 2 months of deliberation, the entire commission, including our former chief elections officer, Mr. Ian Anthony, who basically led on all of the pieces of legislation. And we as commissioners, we made our comments and, we tweeted what we had to do and so on. So, Matt, I want the general public to know that we sent a 23-page document to the government, including 2 forms that we wanted to make adjustments to. And that was done. From my vantage point, I want to let Dominicans know that I do not know Wayne Warner James, and I can speak for Hillary Shillingford. We do not know what is going to be introduced in Parliament on Monday. So as such, we do not know whether the government has decided to take all of what we send them with the 23-page document, if they have decided to take some of it, if they have decided to take none of it at all. But what I want the general public to be very concerned about, it is on the government website. If you go on the government website, and I urge all Dominicans to do that after listening to me. There is a part on the website called Bills Under Review. And if you go on the government website now, what you will find there is the very same draft legislation that the government sent to us. That is there. Then you'll say, so Dennis Byron work along with our work also with Dennis Byron. It's also there. But in relation to what is before the parliament, I do not want to sit here and assume. But based on what I've just heard, the Honorable Parliament, Mr. Anthony Charles, said in relation to the bills that they received in November, and then 2 days ago, they received the very same bill. I'm trying to process in my mind whether it is not the same draft legislation that is on the government website. And if that is what is going before the Parliament of Dominica, I want to say this afternoon that in law, there is something called natural justice. And also, when you have a partnership, so the government and the Electoral Commission, it's a partnership. The Constitution provides that. It would mean to me that if that is the very same pieces of legislation that is going to be introduced on Monday to the Parliament, I want to say to Dominicans listening to me, and I want to speak very calm but very loud. They must reject that totally. So, as I said, I have not seen that bill yet. And I don't know if the members of the ERC have seen that bill. If they have seen that bill, then they would have been privy to it before, because that is the same bill the Honorable Prime Minister said that it was put on the government website. So if you have the bill now that is going before the Parliament, if they are privy to it, as I said, I have not received it as a member of the Electoral Commission. And I would have thought, just out of good faith, we sent you recommendations. You needed to get back in touch with us as the Electoral Commission, who is responsible, directly responsible for the management of the electoral process in Dominica. Who knows it best, Matt, than the Electoral Commission? The staff, the chief elections officer. They are the ones that are administering elections in Dominica, and they are the ones that know how they would want to see it go. The government cannot be going to the Parliament of Dominica with legislation dealing with electoral reform that is going to give them advantage over any opposition party. And Dominicans must not stand for that. The government must understand that they are the servant of the people. An electoral process has to be, as Mr. Anthony rightly said, a level playing field for everyone who wants to participate in that process. It cannot be otherwise. And Dominicans must not accept anything that is not a level playing field. So Matt said, based on my own knowledge, and as I said, I'm speaking for Hillary Shillingford, we do not know what is going before the House on Monday.
But based on, of course, what was presented there by this parliamentarian, the opposition parliamentarian, would you encourage the people to stand?
Matt, I want to put it on the record that yes, I will encourage all of Dominica to stand where this is concerned. This is a vexing issue that has been in existence for years. I was not even on the commission. Hillary was not even on the commission. And Hillary and I are now serving our third term on the Electoral Commission. So I'm saying that I am in support of Dominicans taking a stand where this is concerned. Everybody know that that's my pet child. I have a passion for this. I understand this. I have seen what is going on. I've seen the machinations that takes place at the commission in relation to discussions that we have held in relation to this electoral reform. And Matt, I am prepared to stand with the people of Dominica where this is concerned, because the government cannot be so deceitful to have sent a draft bill to us. They have put it on the website. We have sent recommendations to them. And they are sending that very same bill. They have taken it to Parliament. No matter. Dominicans, I'm calling on you to stand. Let us all stand. And Zed said something that I agreed with a voice note that I heard, where he said that, there should have been a discussion with Mr. Shillingford, Mr. Baptist, and myself, and maybe members of the ERC. I really commend Zed for that. because they maybe understand. Because Matt, the recommendations that we said, I have that in my possession. So here am I waiting to look at the bill. That is why I'm saying the government is acting in bad faith, because they have an obligation to send what they are going to introduce to Parliament to the Electoral Commission. And they have not done that. If it's the same draft legislation, then they have done that.
Maybe somebody suggested, and I have suggested earlier, that maybe your chairperson may have had a copy of those bills and he did not share it with you.
Matt, if the chairman of the Electoral Commission has received the documents that is going to be introduced to the Parliament of Dominica, and he has not circulated it to we as members of the Electoral Commission, the public of Dominica must ask for the chairman of the Electoral Commission to resign with immediate effect. Immediate effect. So I cannot say that he has it. I cannot say that he does not have. But what I know the practice is, documents of such substance would have been circulated to every single commissioner. And I'm calling on Dominicans to be very vigilant. And I really want to address the Honorable Prime Minister this afternoon. Because he said in a press conference, Matt, I know you were there, that he was waiting on the Electoral Commission.
Mm-hmm.
You waited on us. We have submitted a report. Why didn't you come back in a press conference and tell the Dominican people what is it that the Electoral Commission submitted to you? Why you didn't do that? So I'm saying that, and I'm saying to the Prime Minister, if this draft legislation that he sent us is what he's taking to Parliament on Monday, I'm calling on him for peace and calm in Dominica. Mr. Prime Minister, if you are not listening to me, you have a desk. They call it the political desk. They're recording this. I'm asking you, you have enough time to withdraw that bill. Let the people of Dominica know. Get in touch with the Electoral Commission. Let us know what you are accepting, what you are not accepting, and you must give reasons to if you're not accepting it. Because you are not part of the electoral machinery. You are benefactor of the electoral process. The people who is responsible for the election is the Electoral Commission, the Chief Elections Officer, the staff, and the Commission. These are the people responsible. You are not. What you have to do, you go to the Parliament with the necessary legislation that will ensure that it has free and fair elections in the country. But it must not be one that is going to be beneficial to you and other persons who want to participate in that important process that is a disadvantage to them. So, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm calling on you this afternoon. I want the record to be very clear that if this is the very same piece of legislation that you have now before the Parliament on Monday, I'm asking you, sir, I'm humbly asking you, please withdraw those bills, get in touch with the Electoral Commission, and let the people of Dominica know what their business is about. This is not about you. This is not about your administration. This is about the people of Dominica. And as I said, man, before I close, this is a vexing issue that the people of Dominica wants to be settled, and they want it to be settled correctly. Anything outside of that, Mr. Prime Minister, the people of Dominica is not going to sit idle by. And as Mr. Isaac Baptist always said to you, sir, please, sir, don't provoke your people. These are the people who gave me the opportunity to be Prime Minister. Come on, give them what they are asking for. Do not take advice from persons who has no interest in the fairness of the electoral process in your country. Don't take the advice. So, Matt, I am calling on the Dominican people to be vigilant. And I hope that after this afternoon, even just from hearing me, that the Prime Minister will withdraw those bills, allow the people of Dominica to be satisfied, get in touch with the Electoral Commission, let us know what you're taking to the People's Parliament. And once the people gives you the green light, and I am saying that now, I believe that no bill dealing with the electoral process in Dominica should go to the parliament without the approval of the people of Dominica.
Let me ask you finally, Mr. James, before you go, will the commission, both you, Mr. Hillary, will you make public the Electoral Commission submissions to the Prime Minister of the government? Will you make that public?
But yes, we can make this public. But you know why I'm not prepared to make it public right now? Because I don't think it would be good relations in relation to what we have submitted to the government. We do not know what they have done with it, and for us to have it in the public. No, I want to see what we are calling for, and the ERC called for it. The bill that is going to be tabled on Monday. We need to see that first, so that I now can look with Mr. Shillingford and myself.
Right.
We can look and see, based on the 23-page document sent to the government, what is there that they have taken. What is it they have subtracted, or if at all they have taken anything at all? Then I am prepared, and I'm sure Mr. Hillary will support me on this. We will make the document public to the people of Dominica, so that they're going to. So you know what, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
That bill is not ready for Parliament. It's just not ready for Parliament. And Mr. Roosevelt Kerry, again, I'm asking you. You have sufficient time. Withdraw those bills. Make a statement. Address the people of Dominica. Between now, the people of Dominica is giving you 24 hours, to do that and come clean, because this country, Dominica, belongs to all of us. But thank you very much.
Thank you. And of course, there's a news conference on tomorrow, I think about 12 o'clock. Maybe he'll address the situation then. Let's listen to the voice I just received there from Mr. Hillary Shillingford, a commissioner, electoral commissioner. So let's listen to this one.
Good morning, Matt.
Good.
I just listened to your voice message. From, I think, Brother Zed.
Yes.
Well, Matt, as you know, I tell you lately, I don't listen to the programs unless you or somebody call me, because I've been trying to get my life together. Doing my work, I cannot sit down and listen to radio. And I don't know if people believe on radio they can win elections. It's a matter for them. I know elections have been won on the ground. So I am not aware of the discussion that's been taking place, Matt. I saw 2 missed calls from you. I think yesterday or the day before, somewhere around there. I'm not aware of the discussions that are taking place as to any demonstration or wanting to hear from Hillary or Wayne. Yes, I did saw 2 missed calls from you. I could not have responded because it was after time. Your program would have been out. Then I saw it from the usual 449 3093, 3095, whatever. So I knew it would have been something you want me to comment on. I didn't know what it was. But as a little bit from what Zed said, the same way, I mean, for people to think I and Wayne, yes, we've been asking for it for real, but we never see it coming. Every time the people are being called to come out, it's the same few people you hear on the radio. Those that running their mouth out there, they never come down. Those that playing bad, attacking people when they call radio, you never see them in a demonstration. You never see them in Roseau. So I'm saying, Matt, and I really want you to play that, The same way they're mobilizing people, the 300 and 400 people that are going to be, wherever the delegates conference is, either somewhere in the east. But wherever it is, Matt, it doesn't matter. I hope the same way they're mobilizing people there, they should be able to mobilize people to come out when people have been called out on. Because you see the strongholds. This where UWP had always been strong from inception. None of them bringing 50 people in a demonstration. None of the leaders, none of the caretakers, none of the candidates, none of the executive members, none of them bringing 50 people from the constituencies while they're calling for demonstration. So I am here. I will play my part when I have to play it. But it is not dependent on me, boss. I not even know, none of them didn't saw it fit to call my phone and tell me we're planning X or we're planning Y or something on all sides. And I'm not saying that to criticize one side, And even the other faction that's saying it's not time or it's time, none of them will bring 50 people on a bus. on 2 buses. Mark my word, Matt. So we just here talk. Talk is just talk on cue. So I saw somebody, I don't know what was said about me. When I find out, I will make a more informed statement. Because I've always been speaking. Okay? I have been speaking from day one. What else can I do? I cannot drag people from out of their house to come and stand up in Roseville and say, don't go home. We stay in there, we cooking food. I cannot do that. I cannot make people do what they don't want to do. So, whatever it is, I'll find out later, Matt, and if you wish, you can give me a call so I can respond to whatever statements that have been made. But I think I tell them what they should expect. I am not aware of a final document. This is the kind of disrespect that I have been reporting to the people of Dominica. And they're doing nothing about it. What can I do? You want me to hold Duncan and punch him in the office? Hold Alec and Lennox and punch? I cannot do that. If the people of Dominica, you all have been told, the kind of disrespect we get in and nothing happening. So I will be there like every other Dominican.
All right, Mr. Hillary Shillingford. He'll be there like every other Dominican. And once he gets all the information, I think Mr. Charles from Marigot wanted to clarify. He said only on Tuesday he spoke to Mr. Joshua about this document. Not the time that he received it. So it was only on Tuesday. That's a correction there made by Mr. Charles. So he only spoke to Mr. Francis about that document sometime on Tuesday. Somebody saying, an anonymous person saying, Matt, whether it's the same bill or not, the parliamentarians have failed the people's promise. Adding that Mr. Parrish is all over the place looking to be elected as leader, but failed his responsibility as a senator to apply the same everywhere to campaign to inform the people about the electoral bills before Parliament. 449-309-596-97. Talk to me. Yes, good afternoon to you. Quickly.
Love, life, light, healing, joy.
Yes, sir.
And gratitude. Mr. Pelty, blessings to you, sir.
Blessings, sir.
Matt, let me just remove that from the Sunday. Matt, there is something we need to be careful. My brethren Hillary, blessings to you. Matt, you have heard already, if you put 10 people in a row or in a circle and you whisper something to the first person or the second person, by the time it reaches the last person, the story changed completely. You have heard that, Matt, several times.
Many, many times.
Particularly Dominicans, Matt, because we're not basking in our ignorance, Matt. We take comfort in the warmth of our ignorance. And Matt, you should check the definition of savvy. You're using it in a context which is loose, but it is still in context based on the corniness of the English language, the imprisonment of the English language. You said it was a smart move, Matt. No, it is disrespectful, it is corning, it is illegal and immoral. And that's why people have to take a stand, the most serious one, to say while everybody there with delegates conference of scare at Matt, he did, how you said it, he make public the report. Is that what you said, Matt?
Uh-huh.
So everybody were distracted on the delegate. That was not a smart move, Matt. That's not a game. That's why the people of Dominica need to take up the referee position, the officials of the games they're playing, and make your own rules and let some people pay the ultimate price in a very intelligent way, Matt. I am just saying, my brother, I know all of that is to create confusion. By the time I heard you, Matt, even when they say, oh, it have members of parliament who received the report and they may not have made it public to the constituents and blah, 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 and all. I said, look at that. The perfect game. Matt, that's what I said. The perfect game. So now you're going to feel suspicious about Hillary, about Wayne, about the Charles guy. You start figuring out because opposition members, who received it and refusing to make it public. And Matt Skerritt have to be stopped. This cluster of criminals have to be stopped by any means necessary. Young people, I saw all you in Canefield. I hope and pray at Monday there can be sufficient mobilization or come to the realization you should make the sacrifice and find yourself up there or whatever you want to do in opposition to that level of brutality and disrespect. So, Matt, what the hell scary thing, Dominica is his own, his mother, his father live for him, man. And everybody else, they're taking, how they call it, lodgement. Matt, you know why it's lodgement?
Mm-hmm.
When you're taking a little rest by somebody, you don't pay rent, you don't do nothing, you're just taking a little rest there.
A little cool out, yes.
A little cool out by somebody, you're at your home, you don't pay rent, so they call it lodgement. Like everybody else in Dominica, they're just taking a cool out on Skerritt plantation. But all you say you're bad, man, all you sit down killing one another and talking foolishness, plenty of all you not in politics, but all you in elections. Matt, I want to conclude on that note. All you in elections, the 5 years or the 4.5 year cycle, that's where a lot of people get caught in election cycle, Matt. But the politics that govern the country and all the games that are being played, the manipulation, the thievery, the disappearances of money, the economy. Matt, one guy tell me, blessings all about the PRC, what they say. I said, PRC? I said, I don't know about that. I said, the People Republic of China. He tell me, no. The thing about the election, I said, the ERC. What is it, the Electoral Reform Commission, Matt? That's what it is?
Yes,
coalition. So it's a first what I listen to all you on Q95, Matt, and everybody teaching me. Blessings, they say you don't go to school, but thank you because I'm learning from you. Matt, take care, bro.
Take care now. Take care. I suspect we'll have members of the ERC in the house in a few minutes. I suspect some meeting was held last evening with a few members of opposition parties. Rosie Sparks was there, and some other civic groups held some virtual meeting last evening and put out a statement which you heard earlier. One of the recommendations, based on what I read this morning, was for the people to stand peacefully to hear more about the bills in Parliament, the first reading. Just speaking to Mr. Charles earlier, it appears he said he received that bill on the 14th of November, and he did a quick preview. Early indications that all is not well with the bills before Parliament. advising the people to stand. I'm back with Mr. Hillary Schullenfeld. I suspect he has heard some of the conversation, so he wants to give his piece. Mr. Hillary Schullenfeld, good. I know you've been trying to reach me since morning. Good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon. Like I said,
yes.
Good afternoon to Dominicans. But like I said, I sent you this voice note this morning.
This morning, yes.
But I promised to listen a bit. I would make the time, which I did, Matt. But Matt, a little bit disturbing is a few text messages were forwarded to me by a regular caller on your program. So somebody sent it to them and they forwarded it to me.
Okay.
Matt, someone referring to myself and Wayne James as two crooks.
I saw that. And that's disturbing. That's disturbing, yes.
That is very disturbing for a man like me. Wayne James as well. We call a spade. Wayne James been battling at the commission solidly for Dominica, that Wayne James you see. However, Matt, for somebody to refer to us as two crooks, that we got the document and we sent it to Edison and Lennox or whatever. And Matt, I'm not putting it past both sides. I'm not saying it's the other side that sent it. I put it on both sides. Either one can do it. You know me? I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
When people trying to sow seeds of discourse, what they would do is they stay from one position to attack to another side. You think it's the other side. Or even the other side may be attacking. You know, so I treating it just as idiots sending voice messages that they know cannot be true. Who can refer to myself and Wayne as crooks? I mean, I'm a man that calls a spade, Matt.
We know that.
Matt,
we know that.
And sadly, listening to the program today, I heard the member from Marigot saying since 14th of November they have the document. Okay? And I'm saying, I don't know if Wayne wouldn't be happy if I'm telling you now that the document they have, I've not seen it. If it is the final document that we sent, that the commission sent to Roosevelt Kelly, I have not seen it, and that is the kind of disrespect that we've been receiving. Neither me nor Wayne have not seen the final document after it comes from the commission which we are part of. I cannot say that Wayne see. But my knowledge, if he saw something, he would have told me. I trust him. Okay? Matt, I refer to Duncan in an email. And I wish when listening now and I ask him, I urge him to go on his email and pick up the email and read it to the public. I refer to Duncan as a yard fowl. I told him that he was a slave to the administration. And that he was absolutely disrespectful for him to take a final document purporting to be from the commission and send it to Roosevelt without the members of the commission endorsing it or seeing the final document, Matt. He did that recently and you heard of it, Matt. I asked him to put something to a vote. He did not put it, and he communicated false information to the president. Again, I told him he was being dishonest in his actions. And I put it in writing, Matt. So, Matt, for somebody to refer to me as a crook, the person is either sick, is a paro, some political paro, some UWT rabbit that maybe did that. You understand what I'm saying, Matt?
I'm understanding. It's disturbing.
So for somebody to do that, when in fact, Matt, I've been fighting tooth and nail. These people treat me almost like an enemy because of my country I fighting for, Matt. When I have to get personal, I get personal sometimes because I cannot believe big men that with all their millions will agree to slave themselves. You know what I'm saying, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself just turned me off, Matt. But let me just say to Dominicans, I have always reported this kind of disrespect. The final document, when we were doing the final document, I moved a motion at the commission to give us a few hours for each member be free on the government side, and myself and Wayne, to make further submission on the bills. Because what they in fact doing is putting things to a vote and make it look like three of them, everything they want will go through. So I have to give further submission, and I put that in writing, man. The same things I submitted in words at the commission, I wanted it to go down in writing. They agreed, and I'm almost 100% sure that Duncan, Alec, and Lennox would clandestinely not send it to the Prime Minister, Matt, or to the Parliament, to the cabinet. So, but it is unfair. We're going through all of that, and I'm very disappointed in the now opposition. There's an element of distrust in my view, if what I'm hearing is correct. And let me tell you, as for me crooking anybody for Lennox or Edison, Matt, I was nominated by Lennox maybe twice, and the third time by the independent candidate for Salisbury.
Yes, ma'am.
Matt, I have no extra loyalty to anybody, because if they didn't think I could do what they wanted me to do, they would not have put me there, Matt. And when Lennox put me there, I can tell the world, he never called me and tried to dictate to me what should be done or what shouldn't be done. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He trusted me and I was going to do a good job. When we felt we had to inform him of something, we did. But let me go further to say that I don't recognize Lennox Linton as the leader of UWP. I don't recognize Edison James as the leader. And if I have to report to somebody, it would have to be anything in the capacity of leader to Thompson Fontaine. So why would somebody think I'm crooking Thompson Fontaine for Edison or for anybody? I mean, that is like crazy, man. That is not because I am not a crook. I crook nobody. I call a spade, and I tell people what I have to tell them. So let me close by telling the public, Matt, that the final document which has come from the commission to the parliament, I have not seen it. I know that we worked on documents, and the final document was to be put together, I would think, by the chief elections officer based on what the recommendations that we made. But when the final document was prepared, these dishonest men didn't see it fit to send it to us. When I found out that Duncan had already sent it, I sent Duncan another mail. I said, Duncan, you continue to be dishonest. This is very unprofessional. How can you send the document before sending it back to myself and Wayne? What is it Dominicans want? I go the extra mile. I fight in like it's one of my children. I fight in like it's my personal war. But tell me, what can I do? I reported it on your program, but nobody has spoken. That was too much to bring 5,000 people into Roseau. But again, we will see people moving into the delegates conference. You must see 500 people there. But they cannot get anybody to come down to Roseau to shut down the country until we get true reform. What am I supposed to do? So whoever called me that crook man, they need to go in a mirror and look at themselves. Okay?
Well, let me ask you a final question before we go, because we're going to move to the ERC. And there's a me movement going on there in Dominica. Everybody wants to stand up outside of Parliament. Would you be there, Hillary, to stand with the people of Dominica?
What is its format? If it's for reform, certainly I could stand there anytime. I could sleep there. I could take my dollar and buy food to go there. I could do whatever I have to do. Matt, that is who I am. Matt, I do not pretend. Those marshals are playing bad and playing like their own parties. You will never see them outside there. They will not come. Or if they come, they're not bringing nobody with them. Matt, I have always been one that stand up against wrong. And I go on the side of truth. I don't believe in division. And I want to say to Dominicans, I am not part of their fight. Okay? I'm not part of the UWP fight. I believe in honesty. I believe in fairness. I believe that the young man, Paris Matt, is a young man with potential. I have no issues with him. He has potential. He's young. He can get places. He can go to places. I believe Thompson, if Thompson decides he has given up his job and is ready to serve his country, I believe Thompson is an excellent choice. I believe if Pastor Rodney is prepared, that is a bulldog. That is a man that can stand up to anybody. So whatever it is, I don't know what is the intention behind the race, but the race should do one thing. Put Dominica first, your party second, and personality third.
All right, we'll take you out on this one. Hillary Schillenford speaking truth all the time. And we have a few members of the ERC, of course, a group who met last evening to speak about what will be come Monday. We'll give you a chance to express your views sometime later. Let me allow the members in front of me to introduce themselves. The question before me, and I'll answer that later. The opposition parliamentarians, maybe aside, but did they fail the people of Dominica when they got that report a few weeks ago and did not present at least a few of the bills before them? But we'll talk about that sometime later, but we're here with the, let me start on my left. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Bernard Eto. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Matt, and good afternoon to all the listeners out there. Good afternoon to Dominicans wherever they are, whether they're listening or not, the word gets to them. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon to my sister. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Matt, and to all the lovely Dominicans listening on island, off island, online, wherever you are. Good afternoon.
You're the rose between what? Left and the right?
The rose in the world.
In the wilderness. Joshua Francis also here. So he joined the meeting last evening. A few of the voices coming together here this afternoon on the issue. But I mean, you spoke last evening, I'm sure, with this virtual meeting, and you came up as a group with some recommendations. Why did you decide to join this fight, sir?
Well, I'm not sure join is the right word. I don't think any of us have abandoned this fight. This is an ongoing issue where we are trying to get electoral reform done in Dominica. We have different ideas on how to do that. I've had my own particular approach to it. My party has had its own approach to it. But it's never been a matter of not wanting this fight. I think everyone agrees that getting good electoral reform in Dominica is necessary. But I think, on our end, we have part of the conclusion is that we will not get good electoral reform under this government. And that really the only way Dominicans will see good electoral reform is with a change of government. And so most of our focus has been on doing what we need to do to replace this government, get into power, and help implement electoral reform as it must be. But the reality is life goes on. There is a government in place and there is legislation that happens. And so we must focus on trying to at least salvage the best situation that we can out of a situation that is before us. And so it's an ongoing thing. It's a dynamic situation. Things change. You pivot. You assist. You do what you can to make the outcomes you want to see happen. But at the end of the day, electoral reform, true electoral reform with the sort of sweeping implications it needs for equal playing field will be difficult to realize under this government, and new players need to be part of that process. But that is what we're doing now, being part of the process, observing, participating, being engaged to ensure that electoral reform takes a shape that is at least acceptable until we can get it done the comprehensive way it needs to be.
All right, Rosa Felix, you've joined
Yes, sir.
this fight again. No stranger.
No stranger. Well, like it all, it's not a matter of joining the fight. Now it's been a while.
Continued fight.
Right. And what we can say is that the fight is intensified.
Mhm.
And now that government is introducing the electoral reform bill to Parliament without the public seeing if our recommendations have been added to it, if the recommendations of the electoral commission, if the recommendations of the judge, remind me now his name, who was asked, we paid
Okay. $600,000.
yes to do that. Are those reforms standard, regional, international? Are they acceptable? Will they lead to free and fair election? We understand it's a process. So if the first process is going to Parliament, is that first part what we the people want? Is it fair? Is it right? Is it correct? So in intensifying the fight, I'm happy to be here to speak to the people of Dominica and remind people, yes, this is a fight for Dominic.
Dominic.
For Dominic.
It's not about politics or partisan politics.
It's politics. It's the good science of politics, but not a party politics.
Partisan.
Yes. It's because electoral reform, and again about democracy, electoral process will take us to the point where we have the government we want, and to change that government. Because today you vote one government, you're happy with them. Tomorrow you're not happy with them, they're not performing, or whatever is the reason you want to change them. That same process should allow us to change them.
All right, Joshua Francis, you're one of the persons who, of course, have been speaking unity for the past few weeks, for sure. And you were an integral part of the meeting last evening. How many groups came together last night?
Yeah. Bonjour, Matt.
Bonjour.
Good afternoon to your listeners.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
We're here because nous parlons you pour Dominic hot nous.
Okay.
Because many Dominicans are of the view that Dominica is slowly being taken away from us. And on that basis, a number of us met last night. There were a number of groups. Freedom Party was represented. The United Workers' Party was represented. I represented the UPP, United Progressive Party. There were persons who represented civil society. We decided to pull our resources together for the common good of Dominica. Ultimately, what we want to see is a brighter future for our people of Dominica. And as the previous presenter stated, this is a very pivotal and historic moment in Dominica. Electoral process forms the cornerstone of democracy in any democratic country. And on that basis, it's important that we pay attention to what's happening. We must not lose sight of the behavior, political or otherwise, of this government. This matter has been on the front burner by the opposition parties and entities for a couple of decades. And we're asking the public to focus. Of course, a press release has been discharged in the public space, asking the public to support the ERC and its movement. It's a people's movement, really. As Mrs. Felix stated, it's a non-partisan movement. It's a movement for the people of Dominica. And I commend all the groups and all the entities, all the individuals who have decided to come together to fight with a common purpose, a common goal, a common objective, to ensure that we do not only get electoral reform, but we get proper electoral reform.
The recommendations, one of the top recommendations made last evening is for the people to come together and stand. And you support this, Joshua?
Well, of course, I stand with every other Dominican who wants a better Dominica. One of the objectives for electoral reform is to sanitize, to nettoyer the electoral process in Dominica. For too long, we have had a corrupt electoral process in Dominica. It is time to restore decency and integrity in our public institutions and in our electoral process. And we must go to all measures to ensure we get what is just, fair, and equitable for the people of Dominica. So it's the responsibility of Mr. Ito, it's responsibility of Mrs. Felix, is the responsibility of Joshua Francis and every other leader, every other right-thinking Dominican to stand up for what is right.
Will you be there, Joshua?
I don't have a choice. I do have court on Monday, but nonetheless, I will do my utmost to appear with the people of Dominica. I have done it before. I will do it again.
Rosie Felix, will you be in the Me Too movement?
Definitely, Matt. And approaching here, I heard the conversation about the opposition persons who received the bill and whatnot, and that is exactly why we, the people, should not leave this fight to the politicians. It's our fight. It's our fight, and everyone should come out. Everybody. I admire Blessing. Blessing keeps saying, even if he has to come in a wheelchair, he will come. So it's a people's fight, and every able body should come. The union should facilitate its members to leave work and to come. The private sector, who balling in secret, some ball in public, some in secret, their hands on their head. The church, my church, should speak again. Spoken before, but it should speak again. You understand? The teachers union, the teachers are about everybody. Otherwise, my associations, my nurses association, my midwives association, the youth council, the youth, we know the youth are in peril. They keep crying, you've stolen our dreams. The youth should come out. The people on the sidewalk, those who are employed, those who are in despair, everybody should come out. This is not a movement for the. If the political parties didn't show up, that would be okay with me. The people should come out. The people should come out and say, we want reform that is objective, reform that is genuine, authentic, that will lead to anybody putting themselves forward for government have a fair chance, a level playing field. Matt, when I was growing up, and people in my age group, and sure there are people now, our parents, if you went to buy bread and you came back with insufficient change, you have to account. You have to account that you didn't. Where is the change? Or you came back later. You came home later than you expected. You have to explain where you were. And now our government doesn't want to account. This government doesn't want to account, and still doesn't want to give us proper electoral reform so we can change them. That cannot stand. Everybody should come out and stand peacefully.
Peacefully. You stress peacefully. Mr. Ito, your stand on people's standard.
People should always stand. People should, again, the highest office in the land is that of citizen, right? Higher than prime minister, higher than any elected office. So the people are ultimately the highest office in the land. And so if something is not right in the land, then the highest officers in the land, who are the citizens, should get engaged and get involved and try to rectify the situation by all means that are necessary, available to them. Protest movements, nonviolent movements, agitation for change by citizens in public spaces is an integral part of democracy. In fact, democracies that do not have those sort of movements or sort of protest mechanisms and activities are not very, very robust democracies. It shows that something is not quite working. So I have no issue with people standing for what is right in their country and doing the right things. That said, we do have to be very strategic in the way we approach those things. I believe we have to be problem and solution oriented. I believe in being very pragmatic in what can be done, what can be accomplished, and to really understand what the goal and objective always is. I always like to keep very clear and sharp in my mind what the objective is. And sometimes the objective makes you be very, you need to be innovative and a bit careful in how you structure your approach. So that's how I think about it. We have to think about carefully how we approach the objection to this bill. What is the most important things there? Is it the first reading? Do we how do we approach that, and how do we think about it? I think what we're thinking right now is certainly we're encouraging at a minimum that Dominicans get engaged in the process, and I think that's really what we're calling on. We're calling on Dominicans to get engaged in the process, to keep the eye on the government, to show the government by coming out and participating in the process, being part of the gallery, being present, showing the parliamentarians that they are citizens engaged in the process. That's what I think we're focused on right now, is getting people activated and engaged in the process, to get interested and engage in the issue of electoral reform, because it's very, very important. And so that's what we're calling on. We're asking citizens to be activated, to participate in the process, to let the government know that we're watching and we're engaged, and we want to see the right things done. And we're making some very specific asks, which are, at a minimum, why is that bill, the final bill that's being presented, not being made available to the public? And we're asking the government, as distant, responsible citizens and politicians, to make that information available so that the public can peruse through this thing and understand the implications of what's being passed. So that's what we're really pressing the government on. We're also asking the commission, the Electoral Commission, and in collaboration with their partners in the government, to make public as well the recommendations that the electoral reform made to the government, and what is the gap between those recommendations and what the government is proposing. We need to understand it. So we ask the government to be transparent, to be open, to focus on the process of good governance. That is really what we're asking for. We want good governance processes, and we too want to be responsible in the way we approach this, and demonstrate to the Dominican people that the opposition is interested in a good governance process, and not necessarily protest for its sake of protest, but protest done as part of a good governance process. And that is what we're really focused on trying to achieve.
All right, thank you. Joshua Francis, I see everybody seems to be emphasizing you want to make this demonstration protest a peaceful one.
Well, definitely, we are in the mode of being watchful. We're in a watchful mode. We want to point out to this government that the people of Dominica are paying attention. Their eyes are on them. We want to keep our eyes on the government. We want to ensure that this government acts in the best interests of Dominicans. So we're going out there on Monday to basically punctuate the point that the people of Dominica are interested. The people of Dominica wants to ensure that the bills are in the best interest of every citizen. Mm-hmm. The people of Dominica wants to ensure that when this bill is passed, that we will not have any regrets. We will not have missed the opportunity, because any government with the people's best interest at heart will do what is right. And already, this government has failed to present campaign finance reform. That already is a red flag. This is a manifestation of a government that is not that interested in doing what is best for the people of Dominica. So really, to sum it up, we are asking every citizen, irrespective of creed, irrespective of religion, political membership, affiliation, to come out on Monday to show that support. We are asking that it is a peaceful process. We're just coming. Some people will enter the parliament and some will stay out. So that's the point. We're not coming out. We're not asking anybody to come out, to be engaged in any violence. We're asking people to come out to exercise their rights, their democratic rights, their enshrined rights as people of Dominica, to associate themselves with what is happening.
What would you advise? I know the police officers are listening. What would you advise to your police friends in the police force at this time? Because when demonstrations are called, they are out there.
Well, I'm not even sure whether what we're asking for is a demonstration. In certain respects, it is a demonstration because the people are coming out or will be coming out in a show of force that they want to take responsibility. They want accountability. They want this government to do what is in their best interest. But we do not want to disseminate any information to suggest that we're going out there to cause any rancor, any problems on Monday. That is not our intention. We keep saying it's a peaceful movement. And we are very careful here. We're not even using the word demonstration and protestation. We're just asking for people to come together and to show the government that that Dominicans are interested in what's happening. Their eyes are on the parliament. Their eyes are on the government. They have reasons for not trusting this government. And they're saying, look, do what is right. And you heard Bernard Ito, give us the documents. Yes, you serve parliamentarians, but that is just a fraction of the population. The parliamentarians are responsible to go out in their respective constituencies to talk to their constituents, but we know the challenges involved with that. And already we heard the Attorney General for the Commonwealth of Dominica stating that sometime early next year, they're hoping to have the second reading and eventually the third reading.
It's around the corner.
Definitely. I mean, early next year is not far from now. It could be in January, it could be in February, it could be in March. That really is in the hands of the Prime Minister of Dominica. And we cannot always be reacting. We are taking the appropriate step right now to show the government that we are watching.
All right. Let's take we're going to listen to this the press release issued last evening. I will take your phone calls after this. I know you have a lot of questions at this time.
In a press release written by the Electoral Reform Coalition, signed by the chairman Johnson Boston, dated December 12, 2024, reads, the Electoral Reform Coalition, ERC, is disappointed that after almost 2 decades of demanding electoral reform in the Commonwealth of Dominica, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is proceeding to take to Parliament the electoral reform bills on Monday, 16th December 2024, without proper public notice and scrutiny. In addition, the recommendations of the Electoral Commission were not made public to allow the nation to know whether or not the demands of the people are met. The ERC therefore demands the following. 1. That the Electoral Commission makes its recommendations to government public immediately. 2. The government of Dominica makes the legislation that is being presented to Parliament more accessible to the general public. Considering the above, the ERC encourages constituents to persuade their parliamentary representatives to support the electoral reform process for free and fair elections. The ERC invites the public to a virtual rally on Saturday, 14th December at 7 p.m. to discuss the volatile situation. The ERC strongly urges citizens to make their presence felt outside of Parliament on Monday, December 16th, 2024, to register their concern for genuine electoral reform, which will provide for free and fair elections. The public sector, the private sector, the civil society organizations, citizens at home and abroad are encouraged to display their support for the cause of electoral reform. The ERC is therefore appealing to all to raise their voices in this 11th hour to demand that the government allows, open quote, we the people, end quote, of the Commonwealth of Dominica, our right to genuine electoral reform, which should lead to free and fair elections. This statement from the ERC again is signed by the chairman of the ERC, Johnson Boston.
All right, Dominica, we're here. We're going to take your phone calls. We have a new guest. I suspect you was part of the meeting last evening, Mr. Ronald Charles, the same Ronald Charles. We'll give him a few minutes after we take this phone call. Are you there? Oh, sorry about that. Ronald Charles, your views on just what took place last evening.
Good afternoon, Matt, and good afternoon to your many listeners. A special good afternoon to my constituency, the Roseau Valley, and Dominica by extension. Matt, of course, as you are aware, that the meeting was held last evening with various groups, and I call it interest groups. And it is very, very important that the record be set. That at the end of the day, if the people are asking for something, you cannot then use the back door to show it to them. You must use the front door. And the reason being, the people of Dominica must, because it's their parliament, it's their law, they have to have that ability to peruse, to be part of it, to say that by majority, this is what we want. And therefore we can proceed. And therefore the cause is, as and you heard it from all the various speakers, the most important thing is for people to show up and to say and to because Matt, I've always said one of the fundamental rights that any individual can have is the right to vote, the right to express themselves for good governance. And to do that, it starts with the individual. And if that individual is not getting the proper direction to know what they have to do, A, and B, to be able to enter a system that they're comfortable with, we have an issue. And therefore, I'm asking all Dominicans, from the north, from to the south, to the east, to the west, all right, to come out and be part of this movement. The movement to say, we need to know what is going on. Yes, you're going to parliament, but at the end of the day, the people have to be able to contribute towards what is going on.
All right, Joshua. One of the biggest, of course, I'm looking at some comments coming in there for the past few hours. Persons are sort of disappointed that you guys are having a virtual meeting on Saturday. They would have preferred that there was a public gathering this weekend.
Well, that resulted due to logistics. Between now and Saturday is a short period of time. If we are doing something, it must be done properly. This is a start. This is a process. This is not the beginning and the end on Saturday. This is the beginning of the beginning. So I am sure when the stakeholders get together, there will be some kind of strategic decision. And you heard Bernard earlier talking about the importance of being strategic. We don't want to do things by knee-jerk reaction. We have to sit down, contemplate, cogitate, and put proper strategies in place as far as moving forward is concerned. Because, of course, you have different stakeholders, you have different parties, different groups, variant ideas. Therefore, it's important that we sit as a team to distill the information and to put proper strategies in place. So I pray and hope that those who are interested in joining the people's movement understand this is just the beginning.
Explain to the people what the virtual gathering is about.
Well, I'm not too sure whether one of the other presenters
I suspect
want to speak to that.
Bernard's the technological guy.
Well, not in this days and age, it's ubiquitous, right? There's nothing too technical about it. But I mean, sometimes the best way to get the numbers that you want to participate is to avoid really all the logistics of busing people in, getting the place set up, getting the sufficient space to accommodate folks, and folks have different in different areas to drive in and so on. So it becomes difficult on short notice to get people together for substantive discussion if you actually have to have a physical meeting. And actually, that's the whole point of virtual meetings, is to facilitate quick but meaningful dialogue with a large number of people. And so it's just simply using the technologies that allow us to overcome the logistics.
But here's the challenge. Here's the challenge. I mean, not everybody is technologically savvy. So how are we going to reach these people on the ground then?
Well, I mean, as Joshua said, it's a start. We reach those we can, and then we move forward with what we can. It's not, obviously, we would love to do a physical meeting along with a virtual meeting and a series of different things, and then get the mobilization really rolling. But you start where you can, and you move forward with what you have, and that's practical and being pragmatic.
Let's see if we can take a fifth. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Matt, the message that will be repeated in the virtual meeting has been the message that the electoral reform has put out there in various rallies. The political parties have put out this message in various platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to repeat that. But Monday is the call to come out. So while we're looking for,
a gathering of the people.
Yes. So the Saturday night meeting again is to raise awareness for what is going to happen on Monday, and even to people who are at home that doubting, or who never came out in the past. They're at home crying and screaming and mourning, but they've never come out. We want to tell them during that virtual meeting what, how volatile that situation is. Because I heard the brief interview you had with Mr. Baptiste, and he referred to a few years ago when government went to parliament with that bribery bill. I was there, Matt. They went through the back door, and the handful of us who were there, and we stood, and when people got real angry and that gunshot to us end, they really didn't fire after us, but I think it was their code to tell parliament, hey, these people out there are serious. So to those who are not on social media, spread the word with them and let them come out.
All right.
And sorry, Matt, I just want to take the opportunity to inject a point.
Okay.
For those who would like to see more, one of the issues or one of the challenges that we have is to finance the movement. And therefore, I want to seize the opportunity to say to the public, should anyone be interested in financing the movement, to contact Mr. Johnson Boston or any member of the ERC. Because for everything, we need finance. We are trying to get the radio stations to carry that event on Saturday live. And in that regard, we need the finance. So we're not here this afternoon to stir the public's interest in giving us money, but we are drawing to the public's attention that we can do more with financial support.
You need some support.
Definitely.
So, of course, facilitate the discussion there on the radio stations.
That is correct.
I'd like to take a phone call. Are you there?
Yes, Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
And good afternoon to your guest.
Yes.
Matt, I believe this is a serious business right now, because you cannot tell me that we have members of the Electoral Commission that Mr. Hillary Shillingford and Wayne James don't even know what is going to read to us in Parliament. They don't even know that, much as for those on the opposition side. Matt, only the government that know what they're going to read to us. Matt, the people of Dominica should not sit there and accept that. We need to know exactly what is it you're going to read in our Parliament before you even make introduction in Parliament. We need to know exactly what you're going to read, because, my brother, you can go and make your first reading, but you can make your second and third, fourth reading whenever you want. And we don't know what on the first, we don't know what on the second, we don't know what on the third. Matt, the people of Dominica should not wait for ERC. We should not wait for UWP. We should not wait for Freedom Party. We should not wait for no group to call us out. We need to find ourselves by the Parliament on Monday, first thing Monday morning. We need to find ourselves there. And all time, we don't know what you're going to read. Nothing not supposed to read in our thing. And Matt, in closing, let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
The government have a habit. When we, the people of Dominica, come out and stand up for our rights, they like to send police to send tear gas. They like to call for the region police. But there is a letter out there for all the region leaders, every one of them, including the Minister of Nationality in all the region. There is a letter from Dominica to them. I warning them, if anybody gets a bad store on Monday, it will be the responsibility of CARICOM. We will hold the hand of CARICOM responsible, because we have been crying for too long. And now is our time there to allow us to stand up for our rights, so that we have to get what we want. Man, have a good day.
Good afternoon to you. Thanks to the guys in the studios and the lady too, with you leading the team from the front. Thanks to the lawyers also for putting themselves online and giving the people confidence to stand. 449-3095, 96 and 97. Let's make the contributions short. Good afternoon to you, yes.
Yeah, good afternoon to everyone on the panel there today.
Good afternoon.
My take on that, a lot of the young people, we will be by, how you call it, Parliament?
Parliament, yes.
On Monday, as long as God gives us health, life, and strength. But another take on that is, a lot of the young people, right now we should demand that the government make that bill they're going to pass in Parliament. Put it on Facebook. Put it on Facebook for the young people that perusing Facebook to see. Because a lot of us don't know about Facebook. So we don't know. Put it in the newspaper. So we can buy newspaper and we can read it. Buy portions of the newspaper and put it in big print that we can see it. But we have to stand up. In Dominica alone, we haven't got proper electoral reform. Said Lucia up there, get it not to go for all that Magna Road and get the government that Antigua make it possible that the people of Antigua would have fair election in their country with everything that goes with it. Send kids, Grenada, but they just stop about there. Like if we lost that already in everything because we have a little young man who want to live government like it is more than his father estate. But look at you a lot of. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye again. Yes.
You asked a question to Joshua Ree, what would he tell the police? I want to answer that question.
Answer the question.
My response to the police, to arrest Roosevelt Skerrit, he's the one inciting the people to violence. But going to the back door to Parliament and with the intention to pass an electoral reform act that we have not approved, that will not give us free and fair election, he is the one to arrest. So when they come in, bring their tear gas and their handcuffs for Roosevelt Skerrit and the parliamentarians.
All right, 2:48 is the afternoon time. Talk to me.
Hey, Mr. Belter, blessings to you, sir.
Blessings to you, sir.
And all the gentle, how many gentle ladies that there? One gentle lady and all the gentlemen.
One powerful lady, yes. Good afternoon to you.
Okay, Matt, let me give thanks to the organizations and all of them. Matt, I just want to give thanks. We need all hands on deck. If it had toes on deck, I would not be counted because I don't have toes, but I can put my hands on deck. Matt, I just saying, my brother, Rosie, I agree with you. Skerrit need to be arrested. Can you imagine? Also, we're going to have Mr. Charles under suspicion. You have Wayne James and Hillary, we're going to have them under. And these things are deliberate. I'm going to create a problem. To every move Skerrit make is to create poverty, chaos, confusion, mistrust, and destruction. So when he played that game with the report, Matt, all of a sudden, everybody beginning to distrust each other. I don't know if the Chinese are helping him or whoever he have, because I know he's not too much of a bright guy. He's just malicious, mischievous, and insincere. But I'm just saying, I give thanks to everybody. And Josh, I was telling that to a friend overseas, they need money. Yeah, we'll say, oh, they should do this and they should that, but they need money. And when everybody broke, Matt, can you pray everybody broke it too late for that? Take care.
Good afternoon to you now. Somebody saying, Matt, now is the time for Senator Parrish to show your strength and rally the young people on Monday. 449-3095-96 and 97. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Mr. President, good day.
Good day to you, sir.
This is Samuel Duran speaking.
Yes, sir.
I'm head of the Movement for Democracy.
Uh-huh.
Now, man, I am very disappointed. Who is supposed to make public that information to the public?
Of course, the government.
Right. So, Roosevelt Skerrit in particular is responsible for that. And he's trying to make it seem like we're supposed to see all the people from Dominica as the ones that is responsible for that. I am telling Dominican people, you have a country that is about to go down the drain and about to leave your hands into another hand because of Roosevelt Skerrit. I am calling Dominican people to come out, whatever time, on Monday, and show your disgust against Roosevelt Skerrit and his government. And the police will not be able to do anything. And I already sent a message out to the police. They need to behave themselves, or else they will be behaved in Dominica. I am telling these people to stop trying to cause Dominicans to lose their country to China. And Roosevelt Skerrit will learn a serious lesson in the near future.
All right, caller. More telephone calls, 449-3095-96. We only have 8 minutes. I'm hoping that you can, of course, mobilize the radio stations, Joshua Francis, to have them to carry this one for you live.
Yeah, well, that's our intention. But as I said to you, Matt, of course, individually, we are going to make contributions towards the financial cost. Yes, because of course we have to pay the radio stations.
Right.
So I'm appealing again to the public should anyone be interested in contributing financially, be at liberty to contact any member of the ERC.
Correct. We need somebody to sponsor DBS, somebody to sponsor Kyrie, somebody to sponsor Q, somebody to sponsor EMO, and somebody to sponsor DNO.
All right.
And plus, would like water, for the patrons, the people coming.
Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there, caller? Yes. Sorry about that. 449-3095. So put your money where your mouth is and get in touch with one of the members here. And of course, we'll take it from there. Hello, talk to me on the telephone.
Same thing again. You have me on the line and you there talking. My baba, yeah?
All right, sorry. Thank you very much, Lucille. If you have to be on the program, you have to take your time. Take your time. Yes,
The AG
Yes.
also has to take some responsibility. From all understanding, the AG's position is one where he should be defending Dominica and not Roosevelt Skerrit or the parliamentarians. And we see that over and over again.
Is it people's AG?
Yes, this AG has betrayed Dominic over and over again. And this moment is one where it is blatant in our face. The police should go for him too.
And just to add to this,
tell me,
we see that in Dominica, there are various parliamentarians, right? They also have a responsibility as an individual that represent their constituency or their constituencies, and to be able to, it's not because you're part of the government that you cannot disagree with something that you think that is going to affect your constituency, because they elected you, they put you there, you are the servant of the people. And therefore, I'm calling on people like Blackmore, I'm calling on Mr. Vince Henderson, I'm calling on the Minister of Health, I'm calling up all of them to say, you know what? Sometimes you have to stand up for the people and you have to make your presence be felt. So, Matt, you have to also look at it in that perspective.
Okay, let's take another phone call there, 449-3095. We only have 6 minutes. I know the telephones are going crazy here, but time is of the essence. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
And good afternoon to all your panelists.
Good afternoon.
Matt, I heard Hillary Shillingford saying that the Electoral Commission did submit the documents to the Prime Minister unknowingly to him, and he didn't see what is in it. Now, I think we together should call for the members of the Electoral Commission who submitted that document to the Prime Minister without being circulated to the public and to all members of the Commission, they should resign now.
I know, but you see, they're saying that it's a protocol that you submit the document to the Prime Minister. It's only fair to them that they want to see what's in there before they respond. And Mr. Wenjum said that. They want to see what exactly is in that document. It's only fair to them.
Yeah, but Matt, I would say that the criticisms against both Hillary and Wynne are unfair. These two gentlemen have gone beyond their call of duty to connect with the public on the issue of electoral reform. They may have very well gone beyond and above protocols. We don't know that for sure. But what we know is that both Hillary Shillingford and Wynne James have been in the public space, educating and standing with the people of Dominica for electoral reform. And I want us to stay focused here. This is not about personality. This is the people's movement. Let us stay focused on getting results for Dominica. We're looking for solution. We're looking for the betterment. We're looking for a brighter Dominica.
All right, somebody's making the point that Dominica is already in for abuse for human rights. Now, Dominicans should come out now or never. Human rights have them in their sights. Ask Joshua about the article that came out. Joshua, are you aware about an article that came out re human rights? Are you?
Which one? Yeah, I saw an article. I have not gone through it, but there is an article, human rights.
Seems concerned.
Yes.
All right. On the telephone, talk to me. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
And good afternoon to your guests in the interest of time.
Yes, sir.
In the release from the ERC, they call on the Commission to release their recommendations to the public immediately. But they're calling on the government to make the content of the legislation more available to the public. There's nothing available to the public. It should be immediately also that they release to the government, to the people, the government release to the people what they're planning to take to Parliament.
You see, but not as the Prime Minister said, a lot of people misunderstand. Okay, the commissioners can make the suggestions, but the Prime Minister has already said not all of the recommendations he can or he will accept. So we have to see what the Prime Minister will accept before you come down on the commissioners. They made recommendations. They want to see if the Prime Minister accepted their recommendations. Is that right, Joshua?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we do have to compare. The issue is how many of these recommendations did the government incorporate into the final piece of legislation? So we need to have that final bill, but we also need to know what was recommended so we can do a gap analysis, right? And understand the issue and say, okay, why did you not implement this very reasonable proposition? So we need the information, and that's what we're calling on. We need both pieces of information to
I think it's unfair to the commissioners that you want the recommendations out when you don't know whether the Prime Minister accepted it. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yes, sir. You're only going to have change in Dominica when you get Kerry and his entire family out to Moscow or China.
Well, you should start. You should start on Monday. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
But this is the time. This is the right time for Dominicans to stand. Because Roosevelt Kerry to have Dominicans like God is what he said, just pushing down our throat. We've got to stand and push something down Roosevelt Kerry's throat that he will talk and give us what we need. Roosevelt is rude, out of hand. Oh my God.
All right, caller, thank you very much. Let's take our final voice note for the afternoon. I wish we were here for the next 2 hours.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon
to all Dominicans.
Good
afternoon to the team in your office, Matt. Matt, it is really energizing, when you listen to the spicy energy of Rosa Sparks. Nurse, keep on pushing, nurse, because, with the voice of women like that, Matt, some things have to be done. And she's coining it right. Roosevelt's character needs to be arrested. So when the police comes on Monday, they will be arresting Roosevelt's carrot. And if he gives any trouble, then they will be tear gassing Roosevelt's carrot. But thank you to Dominicans who are ready and willing to stand up. Thank you for taking the proactive approach instead of the reactive approach. It is now or never. Matt, God bless every Dominican. We are in the diaspora, we are watching, and we will support as we normally do. God bless all Dominicans, and long live our democracy.
All right, at this time, I'm going to take a message from every guest we have here. We start with Ronald Chance. We'll move down the line there. Of course, Ronald can take the microphone and let me hear your final comments.
Yeah, final comments, Matt. As you are aware, we are ready to bring the people together for what belongs to the people. The people's parliament belongs to the people. The people legislation belongs to the people. The people needs to know what is in the legislation so that they can be confident in the governance of this country. And I can tell you over the past 30 years, they definitely have been disappointed in the way in which this country has been governed. The issue of transparency. What is wrong in giving people a document to look at it before you take it to parliament? There's nothing wrong with that. And the reason why you don't do that is because you like to do things under the carpet. That is you becoming, that is your DNA. And we have to now stand up and say, enough is enough. So I'm happy the United Workers' Party and, of course, our political leader has endorsed this message, has endorsed this sentiment. Dr. Thompson Fontaine will be here very, very soon, in a matter of a couple of hours. He'll be landing. And, of course, he will share his sentiment and he will do what he have to do because Dr. Thompson Fontaine continued to be a pillar for the movement of governance in this country, and he'll continue to do, and he's leading a great team, the United Workers' Party, and the United Workers' Party continue to be part of this movement. We have to do what we have to do because too many Dominicans have been suffering. Thank you for the opportunity, and may God bless you.
All right, Mr. Bernardito, quick comments here before we wrap it up.
Yes, let me just say, and again, I want to make sure that we understand the scope of what we're trying to do. Again, we're trying to get people engaged with the process. We want people to come out and be engaged with the process to let the Dominican government know that the people are watching. And so success is defined by, if a few of us show up, if some people show up, we know we represent dozens of people along with us. And so I think we need to understand what success looks like. It's engagement, it's watchfulness, it's awareness, it's bringing up awareness of the people. And I think if we achieve that, we have achieved our purpose. And I want us to keep that in mind, to keep our energies up as we move forward with the process, that this is the beginning of a process and we will accomplish a goal, I think, if we have that awareness built up to where we want it to be. And that's what we want to say. And let's always remember, we're after good governance, and good governance also must be on our end. We must do things right, and we must be able to be patient with each other as well. Let's not degrade into blaming each other who did what and who didn't do what and so forth. These things happen. There may have not been the cleanest execution of information among us, but let's put that aside. We have work to do. We have real things to do. Let's have patience, understanding, good vibes between each other, and let's move on to get the real work done, which is to try to push forward to get a good government in place in Dominica.
All right, I'm going to give the lady the final word. Let me take Joshua this time. You agree?
Well, you're reversing it. Ladies come first. But we live in a new dispensation, and rules and protocols have changed, so that's okay. Let me say, come here forward, sons and daughters of Dominica. Let us take back our country. Let us understand what is happening. What is happening is critical. We're dealing with the cornerstone of our democracy, electoral reform. That's everybody's business. The Rastaman business, that is every community business, every constituency business, from Scottsdale up to Capuchin, from Lapland to Salisbury. All of us, let us come under one unified umbrella to stand for Dominica. It's always Whitey Kubuli, we love it, and we are going to fight and shake up governance in Dominica until Dominicans are satisfied that Dominica is where it's supposed to be. A better place for all of us. Thank you, Matt. God bless you, and God bless Dominica.
Rosa Felix, you have the final word.
Thank you, Matt. Matt, this government has perpetually acted in bad faith, and that is why we are going out. Yes, we do not know what's in the bill. That is why we're going out, because we should have known to approve it, to scrutinize it. And I'm calling out on families, Matt, because families make up our societies and our families are hurting. I'm calling people to come out in families, in groups, in organizations, to come out. I'm speaking to the hearts of many men and women out there, good standing people in the society, but they're not coming out. Remember the saying, evil thrives when good men do nothing. There are many good men and women out there, and they're not showing their faces at all. I'm speaking to their hearts as well and asking them to come out with their families and stand once and for all. This is the 11th hour, and Roosevelt Skerrit and this government must not be allowed to continue abusing Mad Dominic any further. And our ticket is authentic, genuine, international standard electoral reform.
Thank you, Rosie Spax. Thank you very much, Dominica. Stay tuned for the big program tomorrow night. At what time, Joshua?
You mean on Saturday at 7.
Saturday.
And just to answer one of your callers, listeners, we're looking at about $2,500 to $3,000 EC.
Okay.
To pay the media houses to carry that event on Saturday live. We'll provide the link and other information sometime later today.
Thank you. Thank you. Time for Flow Dominica.
And let our professional team serve you. The new Flow Store on Wheels, convenience and reliability at your doorstep. Coming soon to a location near you.
You an easy way to pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering Fast Pay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in